And now we go to the last presentation in this morning. We will talk about the Bond Club Collarbones data-driven, and the session will talk about reinventing B2B digital approach as a revelation in customer communication. And please join me in welcoming on the stage Mr. Cường Võ, Head of Digital and Marketing at BlueScope Vietnam, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Oh, you hear me?
Hello.
Still morning, is it? Good morning. You had a good morning, I believe. So the challenge is, in the morning, I saw a lot of people struggling for a seat, right? So the more you're hungry, the more seats available. So I'm standing between you and my presentation, but also standing in between you and your lunch. That's the challenge, but the lunch cannot be served until I finish my presentation. That's the rule. So bear with me, okay? Yeah. We're from BlueScope. The first time you may see this logo in your life, because you normally see Coke, Pepsi, or Philips, or Unilever, whatever you see, a lot. And this is the first time seeing a logo like that. It's beautiful logo, but it's not from a FMCG or food and beverage something, but it's from a steel manufacturing company. So why? We first time here that we think that we make a revolution in the B2B communication approach. And that's why we're here to share with you about that. A lot of companies here using our product actually. So using our product can make you have a sustainability, growth, and development. So a lot of companies here like Pepsi, like Coca-Cola, Honda, Yamaha, Unilever, all using Thậc C as well, using our product. So what we sell, we're not selling here because the rule is not to allow us to sell here. But we're making steel sheet that when they profiling, it's become your roof and your walling for the entire factory, where the most important asset will be protected under a good roof, and more on that, it will be beautiful. That's why we have the brand name called Collarbone, and Collarbone will be the main actor here. Okay, so I give you a little bit on the context and why a steel manufacturing brand will be sold here. So I didn't got my pointer, is it? So while waiting for the pointer, let me give you a brief about the brand. Oh, thank you. So Collarbone is still brand for roofing and walling from Australia. It's a premium brand. When you talk about fashion, you will think about Levi or LV, like that. So we are in that position in fashion, but in steel manufacturing and roofing walling, we are a premium product to protect your entire facility. So we are the innovation trendsetter. We are the first company to bring the entire coating technology to Vietnam. And a few years later, we also bring another technology, the first to Vietnam. And 2 days ago, we also launched a new breakthrough technology in Vietnam, setting the high and new standard for the entire steel manufacturing industry in Vietnam. And to stand for this brand, we call it long-lasting beauty. It can create a lot of creativity that you can never imagine that a metal sheet can create. That house design made by our product. Steel, metal. It's not just something plastic or plasterboard or whatever like that. It's still that beautiful, is it? So that's the brand. So we talk to people like Thậc C, like Coca-Cola, the investor. So who they are? They are the person who own in their bucket $100 million. And what they care, the investor, they will invest for a new factory. That in that factory, they will also put in a lot of machine production line, which it costs you maybe $100 million. So how we can encourage them and influence them to use our product? Normally, they will talk to the contractor and architect to give them a design and also to build a factory for them. So 3 of them will be our target. The investor talk to the contractor to build the factory for them, and they will offer the material. So that's when we, a marketer, come to talk to the contractor that say, hey, we got a good product for you. So you can make your offer to the investor better if you use our product. And the same for the architect. When they design for a building, they put in the material as well. And that's when we enter into the chain to talk to the architect and offer them a good material so they can offer a better deal to the investor. The investor also they have their own crew to define which material to be used in their factory. They have an entire project management team where they very technical savvy like that. So we can't tell lie here. We can't like other brands. Hey, you drink that something, you will become Superman, but here cannot, because we talk about the data sheet. That's where you cannot lie anything. So it's the fluent level from the architect and contractor to the investor. So what we do, like other brands, we also do digital. We also do mobile. But like we're talking, it's still traditional, more traditional digital, where we select a channel, we deliver the media, we optimize the performance, and then we evaluate the entire campaign. So what we want to do, from that, we want to do a little bit more. We want to use the big data approach, and we create the TA profile, a much better portrait in the digital environment, and then we start to communicate. So from the digital environment, we can score, we can measure the TA on their reaction on our content or message. So the KPI settings become different. Earlier, you think about how many clicks, how CPC purchase, or like that. So you book the media, and you measure the reaction. But later on, when we put in a little bit more higher level in the digital, which involve big data or AI, the KPI become lead generation or sales conversion on how you get close to the TA, and of course, increase your brand awareness. So how to do that? From mass, a lot of speakers just now talking about they stay away from mass communication at the moment. So from mass, we wanted to go to more AI and data approach. So we cannot spend a lot of money. We don't really have a good budget. But then how to smartly use that? So from AI, we wanted to put into the funnel that where the output can become a sales conversion or at least an offline event approach. Because we've been organizing a lot of activity like offline event, like say the workshop, learning trip, or sponsorship for some sport activities like that, and we miss them face to face. But the question is, who you will invite into the event? Who will be the effective person you will talk to during that event? That is the entire process will help you to choose who you should invite into which event. So they have a good impression, they have a chance to talk to, and then the more impression they are on your brand. That's why we formed a bond club. That's just a video you can walk through. The video will help me shorten my presentation, so you can go for lunch earlier. So give it a look. Sounds please.
BlueScope set about transforming their B2B marketing process into the new and exciting age of data-driven artificial intelligence. The Bond Club mobile app gets us into the pockets of business leaders, providing a valuable business resource whilst delivering a continuous stream of business insights that can be used to provide the best marketing approaches to future BlueScope customers. BlueScope Vietnam and their COLORBOND brand are leaders in Vietnam's steel manufacturing. COLORBOND gave us two challenges. Firstly, COLORBOND were looking to reinforce their standing amongst business and construction industry leaders. Secondly, build an always-on CRM to attract new and relevant prospects and track all engagement to identify members of their database with the highest potential to be future COLORBOND customers. BlueSeed Digital and BlueScope designed the Bond Club to achieve both these goals. In the age of mobile app dependence, we had to create a valuable resource custom built for the ever mobile business person. Our solution, the Bond Club, is a digital hub utilizing both iOS and Android apps, allowing access to 100 of the best international business books on an in-app e-reader, video interviews with the most interesting business leaders in the country, and weekly deep dive articles focused on key business issues happening within the Vietnam market. Sign up and download is free, so the Bond Club is an incredibly attractive and high-quality resource for the modern Vietnamese business person. We use data-driven intelligence from the outset to bring the right users to the Bond Club. BlueSeed's Wriggle DMP is able to learn about our target audience, thus enabling us to build a 360-degree relationship with every Bond Club member, including their interests, contact details, and professional status. We used email to contact first and third-party databases, tracking response via Salesforce's Pardot. BlueSeed's performance marketing team, Blue Summit, executed a highly targeted digital media strategy, reaching lookalike audiences of the business leaders who have found the Bond Club's content invaluable. We gain insights from email opens, ad impressions, site visits, Bond Club registrations, and ongoing engagements with the Bond Club app. All of this helps to build a 360-degree profile of everyone our campaign reaches. Bond Club membership has reached over 5,000 relevant members, comprised of 74% project investors, 16% specifiers, 14% contractors. Wriggle DMP is able to recognise the most active members, assigning each member silver, gold and diamond levels. This lead scoring is fed by the engagement on the Bond Club platform, their company and industry and their employment level. This data can feed BlueScope sales teams real-time insights so that they can build stronger relationships with the highest potential prospects via automated initiatives like providing gifts, exclusive digital content, leisure offers like golf and tennis vouchers, and access to online business events and more. Within just 6 months, COLORBOND have gained access to insights on their most valuable potential clients that potentially would have been impossible. Our mobile-first Bond Club app experience can continue to scale, reaching the mobile screens of a wider relevant audience, driven by continued relevant content. As the Bond Club continues to grow, BlueScope's marketing and sales team will gain increasingly more detailed understanding of the market and have direct channels to reach them at key times. This approach is completely unique in the B2B marketing space and enables COLORBOND to nurture customer relationships with thousands of key prospects in real time throughout their consumer journey.
So that is a very summary about a platform and a campaign which is a 360-degree CRM, but in B2B. B2B is not just you sell a home appliance to another company, but you sell a asset or a product that costs you $1 million to another company. So this, where you talk to a person that they can reject you sometime and you may lose a deal of $1 million. So that's what is important here about the content. So talking about content, who stand behind that is the BDA. Kudos to BDA that they own the strategy and content development for this campaign. Thank you so much. So one of the key hooks that we put into the platform facing to the customer. The first, it's about CEO talk. If you download the app, the first thing you see is the CEO talk. We book some famous CEO in varying industries to share about their opinion, their experience, or some of the industry information. So it's right here, exclusive, if you register as a Bond member. Secondly, ebook. A lot of people nowadays, they start to read books. It's not like that earlier or previously, but now they start to read a lot of books. That's why Tiki still survives, see? Tiki, they sell a lot of books, and we offer here like free. If you register as a bond member, you can read the book for free. We partnership with the publisher already, and we bought the reading license in ebook for you. You register. The content, again, is more important because, again, we serve the architect in our industry they call specifier, and the contractor and the investor who own a lot of money, and they don't have time. So what we can offer them directly, and the content is very customized to them, is more important. Next is the bond magazine. Bond magazine is a sum of the article, very customized and tailored to each industry and each TA, which is investor. They care more about stock market or the government policy or the industry information, where the architecture, they care more about the new design, the trend of building, or the material trend like that. So we also make different content. We also follow hot topic in the case that they want to deep dive into some hot topic, let's say the CPTPP or the trade war between US and China. We also have some very deep dive information article to show up here, so you can read. In the coming time, actually happening right now, we also put in some of the very customized for some industry that impacted by the CPTPP agreement. Let's say aquaculture or furniture or textile, like that. And we also offer for the bond club member some Harvard course certification offer. So normally Harvard, they offer the course online for free, but in here we also offer the way you can get the certification. And we organize some of the free trade agreement consultant tour where we got an expert from the crew that come for the FTA agreement negotiation earlier. They can come for some specific and very expert consultant for you. So again, we classify our TA in diamond, in silver, and in gold, like that, so we can have a different benefit when they join the bond club. Of course, like other, we also put in the traditional media, but a little bit more advanced, as we have a DMB in the back as the database, a big database. We own the segmentation. We segment in different angles, like industry, in the level of the customer, how big their factory is, how often they build a factories, where they're from, and which content they interest the most, and when is that. That's all we measure, we put in our DMB. From that, whenever we have a campaign or we have a purpose to come out with a communication or message, we know what and who and where we need to target to. So to summary, I'm running out of time a little bit. So it's the endless loop when we come from online and offline. So first, let's talk about the core KPI. It's something wrong with the animation, but okay, the KPI, what we want to do is the top of mind of the investor, where they know our brand first. They have a peace of mind using our brand, but they also have a top of mind thinking about our brand. And more on that, they have a thought leadership that they can accept that kind of communication, or we want to turn them into a qualified lead and then a successful sale conversion. So we start with our existing database. That sale has been collected for years, but it's diffracted somewhere in Excel sheets. Now we get to put it back into the DMB. We start to segment. We categorize, we classify them, and some of the contact we collect from some offline event, we also start to put into the pool. Wherever we can have a contact or data, we start to put into the pool, which is the DMB in the back. And we bring them to online. We start to engage them in online. Again, they don't really have a time, but they have a touch point, which is some digital touch point somewhere. We need to find out. Of course, the mobile is the one. So from the online, we start to recruit them. We identify who they are, where they're from, and what content they will like the most, and what is their reaction to our content when we communicate from online. So from that, we will build a better portrait about our TA in each segment, and we will look alike. The moment we look alike, we will enrich our database more and more, and we'll start to nurture them, make them more close to our brand and communication. And then, again, we bring them to an offline event where I mentioned earlier that which event and which message to talk face-to-face to convert them to buy our product. It's not easy to buy our product because they spend a lot of money, right? They buy our product when they want to build or renovate a factory, which is a lot of money. So it's an endless loop where we can have an offline, online forever. We can have a platform, we can have an entire 360 system in the back, but one touch point, it remains unchanged, which is their mobile. Everything goes in mobile. From mobile, architect or a specifier or contractor or investor will always have engagement level to our brand. So from a zero, we have an Excel sheet. Now we can have 5,000 email contacts and 10,000 contacts in our database, which we can approach into the different digital platform. In Vietnam market, the entire scale is about 50,000 contacts for who will join into the game that buy in our product. So that's what we aim to. As I speak, it's not the end of the campaign, but it's just the foundation, because we believe that we are on track, we are going on the right direction, and that become a revolution, a new approach in the B2B segment. So we ambitious to even reach more TA and have a much better brand awareness. So that, are we ready for the lunch? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cường, for your presentation.